Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. We're here at the Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway is racing's answer to truth in advertising, located a stone's throw away from the big mile-and-a-half super speedway that NASCAR's Big Three national touring divisions each year. Bullring is an asphalt oval that's short on distance, 3/8 of a mile, and long on action. Bullring's relatively long straights and tight turns make for a great wheel-to-wheel racing. Plenty of rubbing. Track schedule is no less action-packed. From March through November, the track's weekly shows feature NASCAR's super late models, super stocks, bombers, and Grand American modifieds, USLCI legends, Thunder cars, bandoleros, with occasional visits by the likes of the Lucas Oil modifieds and USAC HPD midgets mixed in for good measure. And tonight, the Superior Class Auto Racing Super Late Model Series. It's next on HBR TV. Once again, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 2 minutes left in tonight's practice session before we get into qualifying. Short field here tonight, 7 cars. 6, I think Bobby Hamilton Jr. may be here in an admin role, but either way, even with short fields, we're going to put on a good show for everybody. Harger top of the board here, a 14:41 for the 66. Old Ansley third quick out there. Neil Quick fourth. Ansley and Quick running just about the same lap time. Ansley a 52, Quick a 53. Justin Napier out there, the number 54, Hateful Chicken Ride. Got a few watching in the stream chat on the Facebook side. Don Harger, Debbie Rose, Terry Ansley. We got Doug Burns in here. Don't be shy. Feel free to say hello. Close call with Neil Quick and Colt Ansley there. Harry saying hello. How you doing? Gonna put a wrap on practice. Cody Harger top of the board. Get into qualifying here in just a moment. The session has begun. Let's see who pulls out onto the track first to start their attempt. Harger is going to roll out first. Lap for Cody Harger, a 14:48, almost what he ran in practice, but no second lap for the 66 as around he goes off turn number 2. Carson Conway, first lap, a 14:96 for the 72 machine. Crosses the line for his second lap. Conway checks in a 14:76, good enough for fifth quick. Speaking of quick, Neil Quick just finishes up first lap, 14:65 for the number 2 machine. So rolling slow. Possibly no attempt on the 5 of Mark Truxell there. 5 cars have qualified at this point. Mark Truxell, Justin Napier, Jeff Napier have not. Bobby Hamilton Jr. listed in the session. Don't think he's going to run tonight. An admin role. Well, with that, we're going to take a short break before we get to our starting grid and then the green flag. Tonight's Bullring Battle at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll be back after this. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Had a little bit of an issue there with the slabs. It did not crash on me, so we're live. The Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, waiting on the official qualifying session to wrap up so we can show you tonight's starting grid. Short little track. There's a reason they call it the Bullring, because really that's what it is. It's a tiny little place, 3/8 mile. Going to be some fender banging around here tonight. Eddie Rose already mentioning in the stream chat, it's going to be a Hateful Chicken night. You can bet on it. Very well could be. Should be every night, right? Hateful Chicken. Hungry, thirsty, what have you. Well, here we go. We've got the starting lineup, your starting grid here. The Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. On the pole, the number 66 machine of Cody Harder with Charger Racing, who is outside. It's the 86 machine of Holt Ansley with Outcast Racing. Thomas McMullen in the 02 will start third. Neil Quick to his outside, the fourth position. Carson Conway with Holler Boys Racing will start fifth. Hamilton Jr. listed as sixth, but I don't believe he's running tonight, so move Mark Truxell to the sixth spot. Jeff Napier will start from the seventh position. and Justin Napier will start 8th. That is your starting lineup for tonight's Bullring Battle from the Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Field will roll off and take 2 parade laps here and go back to green or go under green. Start tonight's race in just a moment. Engines have fired down at the Speedway. Going forward, the next time we take a break, I'm not going to go to that repetitive video cycle because I think that's what's causing my issues here at Streamlabs. So we'll play a Hateful Chicken commercial for sure if we get another opportunity. But you go to break for any reason, we'll stay live with the action. You won't miss a thing. Maybe my voice. Be it. I'll be back. For now, we're waiting on these cars to roll out. Pace car rolls away, field in tow. David Ansley, Veronica Dyers checking in here. Two of you here in the stream chat, a couple on the YouTube side, most of you on the Facebook side. Pace car does peel off the track here. Keep an eye on that 66. We're going to wait on the green flag to get in the throttle and get going.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. Field comes to life. The 66 off and away, but Colt Ansley to his outside gets the jump. Great start by Colt Ansley. Might have to give the spot back because he beat the leader to the line on the initial start. I think that's a no-no. Colt Ansley does do so. Now he's battling back with the 0-2 with Thomas McMullen. I think tonight the bottom feeders are going to have the advantage. If you can be in that low lane, that's going to be the fast way around. But Colt Ansley, not sure if there was contact with the 0-2 with Thomas McMullen or if it was just old tires and a loose car. Either way, the 0-2 spins it off of turn number 4. Take a look at it. O2 and the 86 entering 3 and 4. Colt wasn't even close. 0-2 just goes around, back to the gas a little bit too soon. Really a good move by the 86 of Ansley to avoid contact. Job by the 0-2 of just spinning it down to the inside and not collecting the wall. Chris Gones joining us in the YouTube stream. On Mark Truxell. Chris, thanks for joining us, man. At least for saying hello. Certainly appreciate it. I even put the picker up there. The 40 of Jeff Napier doesn't make the race either. So you've got Hamilton Jr. and Jeff Napier. did not take the green flag. So we have got a 7-car field. Again, short field, but don't let that deter you. Guys will put on a good race. I guarantee it. Pace car lights still on. I think we're going to get the one to go this time by. There it is. Lights are off. Wait for the pace car to peel off the backstretch. That is where pit entry is. Pace car leaves the racing surface and we'll get an opportunity to go back to green. Pace car peels off the racetrack. Hits the pit lane. We wait on the leader, Cody Harger, to get in the throttle. It's on him. Off and running.
Green flag.
The turn 1, the 66 of Harger retains the lead on the restart. Cole Ansley back up to the second spot, and Carson Conway's around.
Caution's out. Talk me through your lap one time real quick.
See the pace car once again. 10 laps in of 100. Get into a rhythm, boys. Gonna be a long night otherwise. All right, let's see what happened here with Carson Conway. It looks like, unfortunately, Justin Napier was collected in that, but let's take a look. Oh, yeah, Carson Conway, the 72, just gets in a little too hot. Loses the rear end on entry. Spins right in front of the 2 of Neil Quick, but the 54, Justin Napier, nowhere to go. I think Neil Quick gets collected in that a bit. Right side damage on the number 2. Thomas McMullen, Mark Truxell will go to the high side to avoid. Kind of difficult to get into a rhythm early on in the race when you kind of started off with a couple of cautions. Even if you're one of the faster guys out front, Cody Harger, he wants to get settled in. He wants to feel what the car is going to give him and get into a groove or a rhythm, so to speak. But awful difficult when getting cautions. Again, we've only had 2 so far, but we're 13 laps in. This tiny little track, they click off in a hurry, even under yellow. Lights are off, top the official iRacing pace car. And watch for it to peel off the track on the backstretch. Isn't much of a straightaway, so yeah, definitely a stretch. Gonna ride on board here with Cole Ansley this time. Watch his restart with the 66 of Cody Harger to his inside. 66 gets to fire first, pace car's down. Cody Harger is off and running. Cole Ansley tucks in behind on the chase. He works off turn number 4. Front, it's Cody Harger and Colt Ansley, top 2. Familiar numbers, familiar cars up at the front of the field, but you've got the 02 with Thomas McMullen running in the 3rd spot in behind these 2. A little bit of pressure coming from the 2 of Neil Quick. That's the 4th spot. Mentioned a moment ago, just trying to set into a rhythm here. The early stages of the Bullring Battle here from the Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Yarger crosses the line. We do have another caution, though. Looks like possibly Carson Conway involved once again. Ooh, contact from the 54 of Justin Napier. Ooh, and Mark Truxell gets in there hard and slams the 72 afterwards. Break for the 72 and the 5 of Mark Truxell. Third caution of the evening, 22, now 23 laps into this 100-lap event. Some of you guys may be unfamiliar with who Chris Goins is in the stream chat. Chris is from a neighboring league, Lone Star Racing. HBR TV's done a handful of broadcasts for them over the past few months. Possibly some more in the future, we shall see. But it looks like I'm going to be running the 24 hours in Daytona with some of their guys. So Chris, appreciate the support and coming in. Got another addition here to this Facebook side. William Martin in the chat. Hasn't said hello, but I see he's watching. And guys, under caution especially, if you want to chat, feel free. You're in your favorite driver, ask a question, tell me my audio sucks, whatever you want to do. Pace car's down again. We wait on the 66 to go. Green flag is back out. Cody Harder in the throttle. Clear the 86, but Thomas McMullen gets down to the inside of the 86 of Cole Ansley. That's the battle for the second position. Looks like Thomas McMullen has snuck his way up to the second spot. Aggressive move on the restart by the O2 machine. Looking back from the O2 of Thomas McMullen back at Cole Ansley. And we have a connection issue again with the O2. It seems to be a frequent issue, unfortunately, for Thomas McMullen. Often connection issues. Thomas McMullen, though, closing in on the 66 of Cody Harder. Last lap for McMullen, a 14.60. Cody Harder, a 14.70. Thomas McMullen about a tenth of a second faster. However, through all that, Cole Ansley, fastest car on the racetrack, 14.56 the previous lap. Thomas McMullen is right there on the back bumper of the 66 of Cody Harger, 34 laps in here at the Bullring. A little loose for Thomas off turn number 2, straightens it back out, doesn't lose a whole lot of ground. It's a car length back to the 02. Right front wheel and hub assembly on the 02 of Thomas McMullen. He's certainly using enough brake. Brake rotor's glowing cherry red, high heat. Thomas driving it in deep, especially in turns 3 and 4, gaining ground each time. Harger backing up his corner just a little bit comparative to Thomas McMullen. That's how the 66 is able to drive off the corner a little bit better than the 02. Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the background there. Like all 4 brake rotors glowing on both top 2 cars for sure. Back to Colt Ansley. Let's take a look, see if he's getting them hot as well. Also some heat on the 86 machine. Neil Quick in the 2 runs 4th. He taking care of his brakes? Nope. Justin Napier in the 5th spot. Brakes are cherry red on the 54 as well. Really the reason for that, first and foremost, obviously, friction. But on such a short track, this little 3/8 mile Bullring, car never really gets enough time off of the brake pedal to cool those brakes down. So you saw, and we'll go back to it real quick here, the right front wheel assembly, 66 of Cody Harger. Cherry red, heavy red in the corner. Coming up off, you see it does dissipate ever so slightly, but does not go away completely. So those things are going to be toast by the end of the race. Cody Harger now putting some distance on the 02 of Thomas McMullen. It's just under 3/4 second advantage for Cody Harger. McMullen falling back slightly. 14.98 lap versus Cody's 14.94. Half a tenth off the leader's pace right now. Not much, but again, at a small place like this, a half a tenth a lap to add up. Not sure what happened with the 86 there. It looked like he was battling with the 2 of Neil Quick, but Bolt has lost some serious ground to the number 2. Drops back to the 4th position. Moved the 2 of Neil Quick up to 3rd. He scraped the wall there. Saw the sparks flying. Thomas McMullen, though, back to the back bumper of Cody Harger. May have been the 66 in the wall as he crosses the line at halfway. 50 laps in, 50 to go. That is our halfway break here at the Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 50 lap, the halfway break. Caution is out. Give these teams an opportunity to hit the pit lane, get some fresh tires, or maybe not. Let's see, thinking back here, we remember Cody Harger gave one away by staying out. Rest of the field came down the pit lane for fresh tires. Does he make that same strategy move again? Didn't pay off before. Everybody comes down pit road except for the 66 of Harger. Well, maybe not everybody. We've got a couple of takers and a couple of non-takers. Harger does stay out. So does Colt Ansley, Justin Napier, Hateful Chicken Ride, the number 54. Carson Conway also stays out. Only 2 cars. Second and third place running machine stopped 4 tires. It's really not a bad call on anybody's part, but you see actually Cody Harger does hit the pit lane this time. Changed his mind. Decided, you know what? I might as well come down to the pit lane. Except for Justin. Justin did stay out on the track. Now, Justin might be thinking he may have an advantage. I know he did hit at lap 11, probably just for a fuel top off. I don't get 2 seconds stop, but no, here comes Justin Napier as well. So the whole field, albeit on different laps, has decided to stop, take tires, top off the tanks, make a final run here to the finish. Started off a little shaky with a couple of cautions, but we went clean and green from that point to halfway. Here we are, lap 55 of 100. Napier now hitting the pit lane. Going to move Colt Ansley up to the top. Position number 1 for the 86 machine. Chris Goins, they're running a fixed setup this season. I believe next season, I think we're going to do a street stock that's actually an open setup. There's not a whole lot of adjustments in those cars, but it kind of gets some of the guys' feet wet that haven't done any fixed setup or open setup type stuff. So that's coming eventually. Yeah, fixed setup in this series right now. I think what we're going to do, or we've been experimenting with going forward, is running an open setup, but requiring all the drivers to use VRS and only allowing certain adjustments like tire pressures and wedge and things like that, but nothing too serious. Then we can check it on later to see what adjustments were made and who cheated and who didn't. Remains to be seen. Green flag back out. The 86 in the throttle. The 55 spins on the restart. 54, that is. That's Justin Napier. Justin just coming back up to speed after losing it off turn number 4. Justin did take fresh tires. It kind of seems to be the continuing trend here. Fresh rubber, they're like rocks out there until you get some heat in them. Take a look, though. Justin Napier, the 54, the Hateful Chicken. This is the replay. Coming to green. Bringing the outside, the 4th spot, the 54 machine, that yellow and black entry up top. Just spins the tires and around it goes in front of the field. Enough to throw the yellow, unfortunately. We'll restack them and try it again from the Bullring. Innovating, yeah. Working in the gray, as they say. But yeah, it sounds good. We haven't decided on anything. I mean, I'm not really a decision maker here, but it's open conversation with our league, because if we're going to do it, everybody's got to have some form of VRS, and don't think it's free. Got the subscription. I use it regularly just to see where I'm losing and gaining, but yeah, we'll see how it works out. It's certainly going to be interesting. There's Will Jones in the Facebook stream. Jones is on the disabled list. Not mentally, but physically. That doesn't get him to say something, nothing. Well, we work around the track here under caution. Lap 60 goes up on the board. Colt Ansley, your leader. Cody Harger, 2nd. Conway, 3rd. McMullen, 4th. Neil Quick, your top 5. Get ready to go back to green. We're looking at the one to go the next time by, and I believe lights are still on the pace car here, so we'll give it another lap, cross the line. If they turn off, we'll get that one to go signal. Back racing here, probably at lap 62 with 38 left to go. Peels off the back straight, back stretch, back curve. 86 can fire when he's ready. He does. He's in the throttle. Cole Ansley, a good restart by the number 86 Rick Motec machine. 66 of Harger tucks in behind. We said bottom feeders were going to be key. Thomas McMullen down on the bottom kind of disappeared there for a moment. Makes everybody nervous. Ooh, a little contact by the 66. Cody backs out of it. Doesn't want to spin the 86, but I think it wads up a bunch of guys in behind. We stay under green. Mark Truxell got the worst of it. I think he is already in the pit lane after that. If we can get a look at replay while these guys run under the green flag. Watch the 5 on the outside. Again, everybody checks up because of the contact with the 66. Oh yeah, Mark Truxell hard into the wall. Tough break for the 5. Back up front, though, Cole Ansley still leads. Cody Harger's catching him once again. Definitely cut the 86 a break after a little bit of contact. Colt was able to save it. Cody did not need to stay in the throttle there. It would have been a mess for everybody. As it was, it still checked up most of the field, put one in the pits and a couple guys with damage. Close quarters battle here at the Bullring. Lap 67. Colt Ansley leads. Cody Harger second. Thomas McMullen is third. Harger is a little bit faster, about a 1/10 of a second quicker the last lap. This time, Cole Ansley picks it up, a 1/2 faster. Thomas McMullen runs the same lap time as Cole Ansley, but fastest on the track that time by was actually 54 of Justin Napier. Justin, after his troubles on the restart, still runs in the 4th position, has a strong car, running some good lap times out there at the Bullring. See if he can track down this top 3 and make it a 4-way battle for the front spot. Back up front, though, Colt Ansley right there at the back bumper of the 86. It's too early to use the chrome horn. Lap 71, we've got 29 to go, but really, how else are you going to get by anybody here? The low lane is king, unless the guy in front of you makes a mistake. You're stuck running the low side. Scrapes the wall off, turn 4. That will make the car faster. Right on board again with the 66 of Harger as he tries to track down and pass the 86 of Colt Ansley. Colt taking over the lead here and not looking back, maintaining that lead spot very nicely. Brake rotors aglow. You can see it from this camera shot. The front, right rear, both rear brake assemblies on that 86 machine. You can see a little bit of a glow, and the caution is out. 55 laps to go, and we are under yellow once again. I think Justin Napier finally hit something hard enough to bring out the yellow. Was running in the 4th spot, scraped the wall. Take a look and see what happened this time with the 54 of Justin Napier. Scrapes the wall on the front stretch again into turn 1, though. Gets on the brakes a little too hard, spins it sideways. Doesn't hit anything, but again, in front of traffic, the caution does come out. I guess the question now, with 23 laps to go, does anybody hit the pit lane? All right, Eddie, I know you're here watching. It's all good, man. Eddie has some pretty, well, less than desirable internet service where he lives, and sometimes it's difficult. He's hanging his phone out the window so it can pick up the satellite so he can watch the race and comment. That's dedication for you right there. And you got to give your boy a call and break his chops. We asked him to run tonight because we had light car count. That he doesn't like this track. He doesn't like these cars. I think he was scared. While we are under caution, I'd like to ask everybody, I know we made mention of the audio, working with the new microphone, so trying to get that dialed in to sound just how I want it to sound. But my question for you is, how does the visual quality of the stream look right now? We've upgraded the internet to better provide high definition video for you guys, but I'm also streaming multiple sources at the same time, so I'm sure that everything looks good. We run these Monday night races, and for me, it's kind of a setup for the Cup race because that is the big show after all. These are important, but make sure that everything looks good so we don't cause any issues for tomorrow. Let us know in the stream chat. Really would appreciate that. Pace car's down. Again, we wait on the 86 to get in the throttle here, put us back to green. Work off turn 4. Cole Ansley in the throttle. Watch for any kind of spinning of the tires. He doesn't do it. Car's hooked up. Into turn number 1, the 66 of Harger's around. Not sure if it was contact with the 02, but the 54 of Justin Napier does make contact after the fact. All right, let's see what happened here. Is on the restart again. The 86, he fires away. Thomas McMullen fires. He gets a good jump. This contact made with the 66, the left rear, the nose was in. Chris, thanks for the update. Quality looks good. Appreciate that. Well, here we are. Caution out once again. I've lost count. It's the 5th or 6th time, I believe. I'm not lost count, but again, short track racing to be expected. No matter how many cars you got, it's tough out there. 17 coming up on 16 laps to go. Harger is in the pit lane. Might as well, if you've got any tires over that pit wall, take them now. Take full advantage. Guys up front have a little bit more to lose. Stay out on the racetrack. Looks like Harger's in the pit lane. Justin Napier in the pit lane, probably to fix some damage. Thomas McMullen now doing the same. Well, the right sides go up on the 66. Well, the lefts as well. Side tires going on the 66 machine. So 4 tires for Cody Harger. Likely not 4 tires for the 54 of Justin Napier. However, he did about the same length of pit stop, so maybe he did. Right side tires only for the 02 of Thomas McMullen. Could be a strategy call there for the 02. Changing just right sides certainly alters the characteristics, the handling characteristics of these race cars. He's looking for a different feel, and these are fixed setup races, so the only way you're really going to do a major adjustment is gambling on right side tires. Now, if you've practiced that way, it's not so much a gamble, but we're going to find out here. Getting ready to go back to green. Cole Ansley is the leader. Who is outside, though? Relative newcomer to the league, Neil Quick, though he does have a couple of victories between 2 different series. Cole Ansley in the throttle gets a huge jump on the 2. Caught him sleeping. 13 laps to go. And just like that, Cody Harger back up to the 3rd spot with fresh tires and 12 laps to go as they cross the line. 3 relatively spread out, but even though 12 laps seems like a short distance, it's not. Plenty of time left for these guys to make some fireworks happen here in the later stages. Gap to second place, 2 car lengths back to Neil Quick as Cole Ansley continues to lead. Riding on board with the 2 of Neil Quick, second place running machine, trying to track down the 86. Cole Ansley, he is there, but he can't really burst that bubble. The need to get to the back bumper of the 86 if he wants to do anything with Colt at this point. 9 laps to go. A couple of viewers here in the stream chat that don't want to hear this, so Ansley family, plug your ears. I think you're going to have to move the 86 if you're going to want to win this race, because I don't see any way around without doing that. Here we go, 7 laps to go. Colt Ansley still with the lead. Neil Quick right there in behind. It's not a car length. We're talking about 3 or 4 feet, maybe 6 feet off the corner. Neil Quick drives it in deep, almost to the back bumper. 6 laps to go from the Bullring. Cody Harger there in the 3rd spot. Tires probably up to temperature. Have come in nicely for the 66, but he's got pressure from the 02 of Thomas McMullen as the leaders battle. Thomas McMullen makes the pass on the 66 of Cody Harger, move the 02 up to the 3rd spot. Thomas McMullen driving it in way deep. Leader's going to have to deal with the 72 of Carson Conway, the lap car. He's up in the fence. No issue for the top 3 getting by there. Oh, Thomas McMullen into the back bumper of the 2. Trying to get to the 2nd spot. He doesn't do it. Checks up just a bit. Lets the 2 correct it. Oh, to his inside again off corner number 2. They touch one more time. 2 of Neil Quick is around into the pit entry. No caution. We stay green. Final lap. Cole Ansley, he's going to walk away with this one unless he makes a big mistake going into the 3rd turn. Cole Ansley, the number 86 machine, started on the outside front. We're always going to do it one better. Cole Ansley wins the Bullring Battle from the Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 2nd is Thomas McMullen. Cody Harger is 3rd. Dustin Napier 4th, and Neil Quick fishes out the top 5. Been a long time coming for the 86 of Cole Ansley. Finally, it's not a 2nd place or a tow truck for the 86. Congratulations to Cole Ansley. Really our top 3. We're going to take a short break and be back with that top 3 after this. race is in the books. Colt Ansley is victorious here. The number 86 Rick Motec Chevrolet. We get to our top three here in just a moment. Trying to get everybody over into the green room here. All right, let's go to our winner, Colt Ansley, the number 86 Rick Motec super late model. Colt, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
10-4, I got you.
Colt, congratulations. Finally put that number 86 in victory lane instead of the back of a tow truck. Tell us about how you did it.
I don't know. Had to take 2 tires there on that halfway caution. That was about the only way I was going to get any sort of track position. And from there, it was just hold the bottom, don't lock the brakes up. I mean, that was about it. Really enjoy this place. It's kind of a janky little track, but it's I've always enjoyed it, whether we're running street stocks or super lates. This is a fun one for me, so I'm happy to be able to bring home the win. It was just difficult to pass. Like, had it not been for pit road, I don't think I probably would have got punted out of the way.
Something we see at these Bullring, these tiny little short tracks, that sometimes the bottom becomes the preferred lane, and really that's the only way you're going to get around is if somebody makes a mistake or if somebody kind of moves you. There's a bit of a battle between yourself and Cody Harger where he did make contact. You saved the car, but he did check up quite a bit after the fact. Tell us about that incident.
Yeah, I was talking to him. I was like, man, at least give me a lap to lead. But yeah, he didn't even he said it didn't even register on his side the first hit, and then the second one was just net code. And he, from what I could tell, he lifted, so it wasn't like it was intentional or anything. So that wasn't a big deal. It's so hard to judge where any car is going to be at any given time because everybody drives this place a little different, and as tight as the turns are, you're kind of on the brakes, and then you really are on the brakes, and everybody drives that a little bit differently. So it's hard to tell where somebody's going to be. And, it looks like it got Cody and got Neil and a few other guys. Thankfully, we were one of the few for once that didn't get caught up in that.
Little 3/8 mile short track. Things happen in a hurry. Sometimes you don't have enough time to react. Worked out for you. You kept the car straight, avoided some wrecks. Thomas McMullen spinning in front of you at one point. You missed that by maybe inches, but kept the nose clean on the number 86, and here you sit in victory lane. Congratulations. Who do you have to thank?
I got to thank Rick Motec for being on the car this season, and Fiverr. Will wasn't here tonight, but Fiverr for being on his car, and Outcast Racing, all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes and that's going on behind the scenes for this season and for next. My family back home watching, my wife for letting me come in here and do this, and all my friends who watch these races too. Hopefully it can pick up a few more motorsports fans and going after this championship, man. It's gonna be tough. Thomas has been really tough, and he did what he needed to tonight to stay close. So I think it's going to come down to the last race.
Well, next week, it's not super late models. It's the ARCA series. We're going to be out at the Milwaukee Mile. What are your thoughts going into Milwaukee?
Well, it's longer than half a mile, so that knocks a point off for me. But it is a flat track, so that brings the point back. So I think I'm sitting pretty much neutral.
So a little bit from column A, a little from column B for the 86 of Colt Ansley. Look forward to seeing you run next week. Good luck at Milwaukee, and congratulations again on the win tonight.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Colt Ansley, your winner here tonight. 86 Rick Motec machine. Second place was Thomas McMullen. We'll go to Thomas next. Thomas, it's Steve. There he is. Thomas McMullen, Steve Singer in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Thomas, second place finish for the O2 Murder Creek Distillery machine. Looked like it was going to be a third place for a little while, but you and Neil Quick went after it. A little bit of a contact between the two of you guys. Tell us about the closing laps with yourself and the two of Neil Quick.
Yeah, he's I definitely didn't make any friends with him tonight, and part of it was I was just over driving and driving real aggressive. I knew I had to get back to the 86 to just try to minimize and salvage the points for tonight because we're in a tight points battle, and just kind of started driving over my head a little bit, and got into him, got into Cody. I mean, I got into everybody tonight, so that's just what it came down to. I was over driving. I was also told I had some connection issues too, so definitely gonna have to work on that and prepare for a little retaliation from the 2 car at the next one, which is completely understandable.
No, you brought it up, so I guess we'll dig into it a little bit. We did notice it up here in the broadcast. It was kind of an uncharacteristic thing that we don't usually see out of yourself. Almost desperation, very aggressive out of the O2. Usually we see you run pretty clean around these places. Still finish up in the top 2 or 3, if not collecting a checkered flag. So is it just desperation? Is it crunch time? Is it we really need to get every point that we can here for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, every position in here matters, and we're coming down to the nitty gritty here. Just trying to keep Colt within striking distance so we can try to come out with a points championship on the other end of it. I hate getting into people. I hate having to deal with the consequences, but that's just part of it.
Times the consequence of short track racing. It does happen. Thomas, congratulations still. You brought home a second place finish. Before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, Splash and Go Graphics, Murder Creek Distillery, Next Generation Fish and Charters, Holler Boys Racing TV, the Hateful Chicken, the whole league, all the admins, and everyone for watching the broadcast tonight. We'll try to work on this PC a little bit, and hopefully we won't be blinking as much tomorrow.
There you have it. Second place finisher Thomas McMullen. The O2, you've heard from him just now. Falling on the sword, so to speak, admitting at fault, and driving over his ability level. Desperation time. Needs every point he can get here late in the season. We'll move on to Cody Harger, your third place finisher here. Cody Harger, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, man. How you doing?
Doing well, Cody. Congratulations. It's probably not the win that you wanted, but it's still a top 3 finish for the 66. Tell us about your afternoon and you ended up here.
Yeah, I was good, really good on short term. 1 lap speed was really good. I mean, as you saw by qualifying, just didn't quite have what I needed to long term, and but I knew track position was going to be key, and if I could just hold my line, it was going to be really tough for someone to get around me, even if they were better. And they're at the halfway caution, I felt like that last 10 laps or so, Thomas was better than me, but I was like, man, I was trying to weigh back and forth of whether I wanted to pit or not. And I was going to not pit. I'd kind of come to that conclusion when then I saw him and Neil dive down pit road when the pits were still closed. So at that point I knew, I was like, well, I can pit and at least start in front of those 2 guys, and they finished second and third, so they're going to be quick. So that, at that point I decided to pit, and then it was 2 tires or 4. And my lap times had just fell off so bad there that at the end of the first stage. So I went ahead and went 4. Colt took 2, and I think that was the race right there. If I'd have taken 2, restarted out front, could have probably kept my nose clean, and I'm not saying I would have won it, but we would have had a much better shot than where we were, kind of back there in the fray, if you will. But it is what it is. It's top 3. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of cars tonight, but top 3 is a top 3, I guess. So not the win I was looking for, but not a horrible night either.
Well, any one of you guys up there in the top 3 or 4 had an opportunity to win the race, but just going back to the tire conversation, Colt and Thomas both took 2 tires, and it looks like third and fourth place, yourself and Justin Napier, appeared to have taken 4. So didn't pan out, but again, bottom feeding kind of the topic of the evening. It's really the only way you were going to make a pass is if you had to move a guy. You made some contact with the 86 earlier on. I don't think it was intentional. You definitely rolled right out of the throttle to avoid wrecking him all the way. What happened there? Did he surprise you on the brakes, or you back to it soon?
Well, what was crazy is that I apparently got into him twice that lap. In 1 and 2, I didn't even know it. I didn't even see anything from Colt to make me think that I got into him. But we rolled down in 3 and 4, and Bobby said it was a little bit of net code because I asked Colt, I said, man, Colt, did I hit you just there? Because I felt like I was a decent way back from his bumper, but he just got jacked up. And I was like, sure. I mean, I couldn't, what I was seeing and what was happening wasn't matching up. But I think that 3 and 4 was a net code. But the 1 and 2, Bobby said I touched his bumper, but man, I didn't even know I did anything when it happened. So I surely didn't go in there to get into him or wreck him. And I guess I didn't even really think I lifted to let him go. I mean, I was just trying to run my lap and not float off the bottom and not get run over, from behind. So who knows? Definitely didn't do it intentional. So Colt knows that too. So he ran good all night. He was pretty quick in practice and definitely had the long-term speed to hold us off. So good on him, and glad he got another win.
Well, as we expected, a little bit of a short field tonight, as you said, but still a good show. You guys certainly deliver in that department every chance you get. Before we let you go, Cody, who do you have to thank for this?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Plasmine for helping me do this, supporting me on this endeavor. Definitely want to thank Hateful Chicken for being the Scar's primary sponsor. Thank you, HBR TV, for putting it on. And I should do this more often, but I don't. But big shout out to my wife and for manning the fort and letting me come play every now and then. So love her. Thanks for her too.
Can't forget the wife. That is always a good thank for sure. So again, congratulations, Cody, on the 3rd place finish. What are your thoughts rolling into Milwaukee next week in the ARCA series?
I'm not looking forward to that. I ran. They had the ARCAs were official at Milwaukee this past week, and I ran one just to kind of see what it was like, and I didn't like it. So who knows how that race is going to go down? Half the time when I go to races I don't like, I typically do well. So maybe if I just keep hating this thing with all of my rage, then maybe it'll come out with a win.
All right. Well, how much do you hate Pocono for the Cup Series tomorrow?
Can't stand it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Cody Harger, your 3rd place finisher here tonight at the Bullring Battle. Hates Pocono. Might look for him to see a victory lane tomorrow evening at 8:45. Tune into HBR TV to follow all that action. That wraps things up here from Las Vegas. We're at the Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A hop, skip, and a jump away from the big track. Our finishing results here this afternoon, this evening. Colt Ansley, of course, your winner. We spoke to Colt. Thomas McMullen was your 2nd place finisher. Cody Harger, which is in the 3rd spot. Justin Napier, even through his struggle, still brings home the Hateful Chicken number 54 in the 4th spot. Neil Quick, after tangling with Thomas McMullen, he still finishes 5th. Carson Conway, a 6th place finish for the number 72 machine. And Mark Truxell was 7th. Hamilton Jr., Jeff Napier listed, categorized, but did not take the green flag. Here, I assume, in an admin role. Again, that will do it for us with Holler Boys Racing TV. Thank you all for joining us on the Facebook side, on the YouTube side. Please like, follow, subscribe, share, all those fancy things you can do with social media these days. Man, I'm getting Facebook.com/Holler Boys Racing TV. And again, on the YouTube side at Holler Boys Racing TV. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Get all those fancy updates when I'm going live next and everything else. But more importantly, it helps those social media platforms determine who gets to see our streams that don't already follow us. Please do that. It certainly does help out the channel on both sides of the equation. Anything you can do, it's much appreciated. Tell your friends. If you got anybody looking for broadcasts, let us know. Not like I got any of it. But hey, we'll certainly look at any and all avenues. So for myself in the booth, I'm Steve Singer with Holler Boys Racing TV. Thanks again for watching. Join us tomorrow for the Cup Series, 8:45 Eastern for the Pocono 175. Good night, everyone.